was recently having a conversation with a friend, and we were getting into some really deep stuff. And it came up, we were talking about different personalities and what we were like in high school, and some different stories along those lines. And one of the things that I realized that was kind of consistent through many of my stories, and especially when it came to relationships and past relationships, both youthful relationships and adult relationships, one of the things that kept coming up was that I don't like to be told what to do. And I was like, wow, that started at a much younger age than I thought it had. I thought that was something that had developed as I gotten older and into my 30s. But I think it is a very, very common attribute to us Gen X women is that we do not like to be told what to do. So this video today might hit a little bit harder than some of my other videos, but I am hoping that you take it for what it is, and to be helpful in living your best midlife, because it is this midlife, this era, as we hit our stride as Gen Xers, this truly is an amazing part of our life. And in order to embrace it, there are some harsh truths that you need to recognize and understand so that you can continue to live your best life. So let's get into these harsh truths. And the first one, I'm going to have to look at it because I did not memorize these, because menopause brain, I can't remember anything hardly these days. So number one is chasing happiness doesn't work. If you are constantly out there and your goal is to be happy, if you don't know what actually makes you happy, just chasing something that's esoterically happiness, you're not going to get there. And also having specific things that you think are going to make you happy, that doesn't bring you happiness either. And you also have to remember that happiness comes, you have to have the sad times and the tough times in order to appreciate happiness and joy. There is no way that anybody in this world is going to be able to live at this happiness level 100% of the time. That's just not how life or our egos or our personalities or our souls work. There's always ebbs and flows, dips and valleys, hills and valleys, I guess. You're always going to have some level that, of happiness here, and then you might, lose that happiness, and then something happens, because life is life, and life is going to continue. Even if you're living your best life, there's going to be some not so great times that are going to be happening in your best life. I'm going to give you an example right now, what is happening to me. And I'm filming this on New Year's Eve of 2025. So I am currently in the beginnings of an amazing relationship. And I will, as it goes forward, I will keep you informed as so far, it has been absolutely amazing. And so I have my happiness up here, right? It is way up here right now. But I also had my other YouTube channel was hijacked like a week ago. And so my happiness level went way down because life happens. And so, you're constantly having like some great things happen, and then you're having some not so great things happen. And figuring out how to live in the balance of all of that is so much more important than just constantly chasing happiness. Because that's like chasing that high. That's the going after, having to get that next high, that next hit of whatever you might be hitting. I don't do drugs, so I don't really know what it might be. Maybe I don't even want to throw that out there. But, chasing that next high, it just is ultimately not going to bring you the joy that you want in your life. So instead of chasing happiness, chase the things that fulfill you, that that give you purpose, that make you feel alive, not necessarily happy. And a lot of that is probably going to be in a form of service to others, giving back to others in some way or form. And it doesn't have to be like the traditional senses of service where go in and cook meals for the homeless, or you go and volunteer at a church or something along those lines. It doesn't necessarily have to be that level of service, but just doing something that makes somebody else smile, just saying something nice to somebody in the store when you walk by and saying, you really like their hair color, or you like their fingernail polish, or something that will just give that other person a spark for the day. I think that is so underrated as a way to bring joy and kindness to other people. And I think that is so much more fulfilling than constantly chasing your next high of happiness. Harsh truth number 2 is that our tolerance for BS should go down with age instead of up, meaning that you don't need to be the grumpy guy on the porch yelling at the kids that are playing out in the street, because that's not bullshit. Sorry, bullshit. But people who are gonna F with you, basically, that they're gonna like give you lies, or they're just gonna throw, they're going to talk nonsense at you and think that you're going to believe it. That you're not going to tolerate that. Like, you could tolerate that stuff when you were younger. Maybe some of us could. But for the most part, as you get older, you don't need to tolerate it. You just move on. If people are going to lie to you or just offer up empty thoughts or empty information or empty promises, especially, they're not the people for you. You want to get rid of those people who are just bullshitting you all the time, and bring people into your life that are genuine and authentic and want to have deeper conversations with you and support you in your goals, and not just blow smoke up your butt about something. You don't need to, definitely get rid of tolerating those people around you that are just constantly just not being upfront with you. That you don't need that in your life. Harsh truth number 3 is that, and this is a hard one, and this has happened to me quite a bit, and it is that we are going to outgrow people, places, and versions of ourselves. And this is hard. Letting go of certain versions of yourself. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we've been ingrained to think of ourselves as certain people, and that is challenging, to let that version of yourself go and move into a newer version. Although honestly, I feel like your newer version is probably going to be far more authentic to who you are now, because you're a more authentic person, because you've lived these many years and you've learned all of these lessons. The harder things to let go of sometimes are going to be the people and the places. And I've done this so much. And there's been people that I've let go that I have been very sad to lose, and people that have let go of me. And I've been devastated by that. And I'm not talking like partner style relationships, although I've had some of those. But I had a really, really good, almost I would say best friend friendship that blew up, and we went our separate ways. And this was just 8 years ago. And that was devastating. It was so hard to go through. And I'm back in touch a little bit with that person, and but it's hard, and you just have to accept that maybe those people and places aren't meant for you, for the growth that you are going to do into the person that you need to become for this version of yourself in your second act. And we don't know why. Sometimes that the universe isn't going to tell us why those people don't need to be in our lives anymore. Because we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know why people will ebb and flow from our lives. But it's a harsh truth. It's going to happen. and it can be very, very hurtful. It can be tough to go through, but you will come out on the other side stronger. I mean, it may be still sad. It's sad for me to think about my friend that we had our friendship break up, but I also still love her dearly, and I think of her often, and I bless the time that I got to have her in my life, and then find a way to find joy moving into the next stage of our life. Okay, harsh truth. Whew, number 4 is that, whew, and this is going to be a tough one for many of us to face, is that we don't have as much time left as we think. Many of us, I am sure at this point, that of you that are here have probably already dealt with losing a parent. I know that I lost my dad a couple of years ago. I've had multiple friends who have lost parents over the past couple of years, and a few that are just recently going through this. And, when that happens, you start to realize that we have a limited amount of time on this earth as the human beings that we are right now. And if you really want to live a joyful life in the second half, you need to accept that time is finite and that we don't have as much time to think of things over, or to get in our heads about stuff, or to mostly think about things, to not move forward, to not take that action. We don't have as much time to dwell on things or to wait for things to happen. So just remember, time is finite. We have whatever limited amount of time that has been deemed for us to be here on this earth. And it really is the time for you to think about embracing all of the stuff that you want to accomplish, do, enjoy while you are here in this physical state that we are before it's too late. Especially, as we get into things not working on our body so much. And I think that leads us into harsh truth number 5, which is, yes, harsh truth number 5 is if we don't take care of our health, our bodies are going to make us. And basically that means if you are not already doing the things to keep your body healthy and aging better, eventually your body's going to tell you that it needs to be looked after. Or worse, you might not even have the opportunity to correct the things that have deteriorated. So if you want to make the most of this finite time that we have left on this earth, it behooves you to really take care of not just your physical health, although I will say, but also your mental health. And where I'm going with that is that, Alzheimer's and dementia are real things, and they are physical as well as mental things, because they've done the research. They know that much of dementia and Alzheimer's is caused by a buildup of certain plaques on your brain cells, and that there are ways that you can work to prevent some of the Alzheimer's and dementia as much as you can, even if you have a genetic predisposition. And I am not a doctor, not a medical person, I don't have any medical degrees. I'm just a person who likes to talk about stuff. who wants to, I want to live my best life, and I want to help everybody out there live their best life too. And that's where I'm coming from. And, I don't want to sound like I am preaching to you about this, or that, you need to go out there and do that. And I'm not a finger wag person. I don't love the finger wag. That, you take that finger back, point it at yourself. But that you need to be out there doing the physical things that you need to do in order to take care of your body the best that you can, in order to be able to enjoy the rest of your life doing the things that you want to do. And you need to take care of your physical health before your body tells you that it's too late. So that is harsh truth number 5. Harsh truth number 6 is that time with people we love is the only thing that actually matters. And I don't think this is new to any of you. I would hope not. I think that all of you are very very open and loving people. So I think that you don't need to be told that, spending time with those in your life that are the most important to you is probably the most important way that you can spend the rest of your time on this earth. Maybe you go out and work out together, eat healthy meals together, so you can extend your life and spend more time with the people that you love. But making time with your family and your friends a priority. Like, get off of the screens, get out of your phone, go and have dinner with somebody, play a game, go walk on the beach, do things with the people that you love. And that is going to bring you so much joy and fulfillment that all of these other harsh truths are, going to be secondary to this one harsh truth. And that is, we don't know how much time we have with each other, so spend as much time with each other as you can. And then our last harsh truth, number 7, is that if we don't take charge of our lives, life is going to make the choices for us. So if you are constantly waiting for other people to do things with, like, say, I've talked about this in another video. If you're waiting for somebody to go travel with you because you don't want to go travel by yourself, you need to just go ahead and travel by yourself. Find a tour group to go travel with. Or perhaps you are waiting for inspiration to hit you in order to do the thing that you've always dreamed of doing. Maybe it's to write a novel. Well, you're going to have to just start writing that novel, because inspiration is probably not going to come until you're already writing the novel. You got to put that pen to paper. You need to put the energy out into the world in order for the energy to come back to you. So if you are not making any effort towards the goals that you want to achieve, then you're just not going to probably get a whole, you might eventually get something back, but it's going to be weak. It's not going to probably be what you want, and it's going to be disappointing perhaps. So don't wait around for other things to happen to you when you can make things happen. Get out there and be a happener. You get out there, do the things, and then you are making things happen. And it's under, I don't want to say your control, because I think that, we as Gen Xers tend to want to control a little bit too much anyway. But the more that you are creating things and creating action, the more happiness and joy that you are going to get back in your life. So those are the 7 harsh truths that you need to know, and some of them are harsher than others, I know. Let me know in the comments below, what are some harsh truths that you think that we women as Gen X women need to know? Let me know down there in the comments. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that it found the right people that needed to hear this today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Maybe go out and touch some grass, drink some water, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.